with it, and it was fairly simple. Um, so do you guys want to know how that was? How I was able to make way more money? Because actually what I did was I took, instead of getting a $20 sale, I got either a $99 sale or a $199 sale from the same customer, and which really led me to needing less customers to make way more money. So anybody want to know how I did that? Does anybody want to know? Like something, post, say something. I need feedback. My voice is failing. Good guess, Martin. But I actually didn't make my own product. What I did was I just added value to it, because the thing I was selling was the cookie cutter was a $20 product. Basically, I mean, it wasn't really an ebook, but in essence, it was an ebook, basically teaching people how to set up a simple system to make money online. And their system was this 3-page website and an autoresponder. Okay. Now, the ebook just explained it. I mean, it didn't really do anything. It just told you what to do. Okay, but it didn't really show you like how to do it. And so what I did is, when I was advertising it, I, instead of just saying, and I did still offer the $20, like, look, the actual product is $20, but I had a service where I was like, look, I will actually set this stuff up for you. All right. So, because you gotta understand, see, here's what you gotta understand. And if you understand this, then you can make a lot of money. All right. Because this is the essence of information marketing. All right. Information marketing is knowing how to do something yourself, okay, and being somewhat successful with it, okay. So you can't teach people something that you've never done, and it's definitely something that you weren't successful at, okay. So that's rule number one. But you gotta understand, like, if you know a little bit more than some other people, then you have a lot of value that you can give them, okay. I always tell people, like, people have a saying, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, okay? And, another saying is that, to a second grader, a third grader is God, okay? And I haven't know that, because I actually have a daughter. Well, she's actually going to the third grade. She was second grader, but, like, she looks up to these, people that are, like, one grade ahead of her. Okay, so they're like, oh, wow, she's a third grader, whatever. So, if you know a little bit more than other people, especially in some area where they want to know, then you can profit off of that, okay? So here I am. You understand, like, I'm for all intents and purposes a newbie, okay? I'm a newbie, okay? But I do understand how to basically set up a website and an autoresponder web form, and put in the autoresponder messages. I understand how to do that. I know how to do that, all right? I started doing it for people. I was like, and I still sold the $20 thing, but I was like, look, I basically was done for you. I forget what I was doing for $99. I can't remember what it was, but I remember for the $199, I did everything for them. I set up the website, set up the autoresponder, I put in the messages, whatever. I think that was basically it. I may have given them some pointers on how to promote it, but I basically just set everything up for them. May have given them some ads. Doubt if I gave them keyword lists. That's it. And I charged $200 for that. And I tell you, I got more sales at $199 than I got at $99, and then I got at $20. Okay, because people want shit done for them. Okay, like, one thing, they want to read this ebook or read this course or do this, like, okay, this is what you do, this is how you do it. They want it done for them. Okay, now, and at first when I started doing it, I actually kind of did it myself, and then so I realized that this was like way more work than I wanted to do. So I got somebody else to do it. I got this other company to actually do it. So I was just basically passing people on to them. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think in order for them to perform what I was selling for $200 for $199, I think it may have cost me like $30 or $40 to pay them. So I was making, a healthy profit for each one of these orders, and I wasn't doing any work, and I still had a full-time job. I wasn't doing any work, and so all I had to do, sell 4 or 5 of those a day, which was what I was doing anyway. And And so that takes me from $300 a day to, $1,000 a day. I mean, like really, really easy, with the same amount or even a lower amount of sales. So what I'm saying to you is that you know a lot more than you think you know, okay? And there's like newbies coming into this market every single day, and they need help. They need a lot of help. And even though, you might not, be very successful as far as making a whole bunch of money online, you may not think that you are doing like great or whatever, but you know a lot more than a lot of other people, okay? And you may be, there's several affiliates that I work with that know way more about Ad Center than I do, because I don't do Ad Center a whole lot. I really focus on Google AdWords. I haven't done Ad Center like very seriously, and they know way more than me. And it's like, even though like they're like looking like me, like, well, wow, you're doing all this and that, and kind of looking up to me in that way. But I'm like, man, you have knowledge that I don't have that I wouldn't mind having. Okay, so I'd pay you to coach me on this or whatever, or arrange some type of barter type of thing. But you know how to do stuff that a lot of other people don't know how to do. And so, and even if you don't know how to do it, okay, even if you don't know how to do it, you can broker it. Okay, you can use this. This is a great site. I don't know if you ever heard of it. This amazing site. It's called Fiverr.com. Okay, you could actually broker all these services and have like other people do them. Okay, so just basic stuff. Setting up websites, setting up autoresponders. I mean, like basic stuff. Okay, and if you really want to go hard, as my friend Lloyd always says, if you really want to go hard, you can customize it. So say, let's go back to the examples that we were given for CPV, where you could pop over certain sites. Okay, you could pop over certain products that you bought yourself, and that they recommend a certain method, whatever. And so you can be like, look, I'll set this whole thing up for you. Blah blah. You can collect those names. You can either present it from then or then a little bit later when they had time to actually consume the product. You'd be like, look, I'll do this for you. Because that's all I did. It was an established product, and it showed people how to set up a website and an autoresponder. And I just like, look, I'll do it for you. And I did. I did it for a very short period of time, then I quickly outsourced it. And got someone else to do it. And you can do the exact same thing. I mean, there's so many different things. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like, I'm not gonna out anybody or anything like that, but I know people that offer like SEO services, and they outsource the whole thing to Fiverr.com, or some of them maybe like somebody like Elance or Scriptlance, but lately like people, Fiverr, okay, if you're not with it, if you don't know about it, you need to check it out. There, people do anything for $5. All right, so again, this is just another way that you can monetize your list. Okay, if you're building lists of biz-op people or like, want to be internet marketers and stuff, this is a way that you can monetize. I'm not saying that this is, everybody should do this, but hey, if you're trying to make money, look, this is what I did, okay, and I was able to make $1,000 a day, okay, from using this method, from just basically giving people value. Like, look, okay, I'll get this done for you, okay, and you'd be amazed. I was shocked that I got more. I'm telling you that. Actually, I wish. This was so long ago. It was lots of computers ago. And I don't have stuff back. So I don't have like my exact numbers from 2000, 2001. But I just can remember being shocked that I had more $199 sales. That's $199 than I had $20 sales, or that I had $9. Really, I ended up getting rid of the $99 because like hardly anybody got the middle thing. I can't remember what it was. So I went from $20 to $200. Like, who does that? But it worked. It worked. And it all came down from building lists, because I could still send people to the offer, still get collected $20. And I had that option as well. I was like, okay, well, if you've already purchased the $20, I'll just take the $20, off the price, and it'd be $179 instead of $199. So this is something that you could easily do. You could easily do it. People talk about like for local services, local businesses, you can do the exact same thing for internet marketers, or especially for newbie internet marketers. And that's just one example, okay? But that's what I did. I did a done for you service, and it dramatically increased my earnings and dramatically increased what I could do. And even if you do it yourself, look, man, if I was doing that, if you work 8 hours a day, if I could do like 4 or 5, let's say 5 websites a day 5 website and autoresponders and load of messages a day. I mean, maximum take me 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe if I was really, really slow, and I'm going to make $1,000 profit. You know, I mean, that's not a bad day, you know? I mean, people like try to look down on like manual labor and doing all this stuff, man. Look, get money, okay? Until you figure it out, until you figure out how to outsource it, until you figure out how to automate it, just do it. Do the work, you know? Get the money. Then, you know, figure out how to make it easier. All right? So so that's how I, you know, really blew up that particular opportunity. So that's that. So again, software, you know, again, we talked about this, and great way to build a niche, come up with some software that you can give away to people, or sell to people, or you can even do what's called a freemium, okay, like I'm probably about to do for mine. Okay, like you said, Splits as Rockstar is free, but then if you want some added features to it, you know, they can do a paid model, maybe like $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever. But this is what really, you know, blows up and that you can sell for millions, okay? Because you got a whole bunch of people that are using your stuff and paying you monthly for it, you know, then that's the type of stuff that's very attractive to these people. So I'm getting tired of talking. I need to take a little break here. So Rico, I'm gonna let you jump back in. You can finish up. Then I'm gonna come back and finish up, and then we're gonna finish up.
Okay. Cool.
So here, let me give you the mic here.
All right. All right, is everybody still with us? Can I get a couple yeses? I know we're probably about, what are we, about 4 hours in almost? Cool. All right. Okay, so basically, what I want to, I think before I pass it back over to Greg, I was talking about that method with the legal lead gen offer that we were doing. And yeah, so what I wanted to, okay, so I talked about the optimization with that and basically how we watch visitors. And a couple of you asked what software we were using that we do use to do that. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Okay, so basically, as far as like optimization softwares, I know some of you guys have been talking about them. In particular, I mean, the ones that we use regularly, Visual Website Optimizer, which is great, and mouseflow.com is where you can actually see what somebody's doing on your page. You can see where their mouse moves. You can see if they're scrolling up and down. And you can see, like in our case, we were seeing how much of the forms they were completing and things like that. CPV Lab is great for tracking pathways. You know, if you're new to doing all this stuff, CPV Lab may seem a little advanced, you know, but it's definitely one of the best tools to use if you're trying to track multiple pages. But if you're just starting out, I usually tell guys who are just starting out just to use Stat Counter, so you can just you can track each page individually, and you kind of can look at all the stats on one page. CPV Lab kind of does it in one, you know, like a one page essentially. But anyway, these are some of the basic tracking and optimization softwares we use. Okay, so if you don't know what Visual Website Optimizer is, I mean, it's great basically. Let's say, as far as from a testing standpoint, like with headlines, like some of the pages that Greg showed you, you know, if you're testing, like especially with PPV traffic or any traffic in general, you want to be able to test quickly. So you want to be able to test your headlines. So Visual Website Optimizer enables you to do that without having to create a bunch of separate pages. So if you're just testing your headline, you don't have to create 10 different pages with 10 different headlines. You can do it within Visual Website Optimizer without getting all technical. They basically use like a JavaScript code. Basically, you can just say, okay, this headline is going to say this. Then you say, in the second option, it'll say this, and the third option, it'll say this. So you do all that within the Visual Website Optimizer. It'll then give you a piece of coding that you can give to your programmer, who you can pay. If you don't have a programmer, you can pay somebody like $15, you know, to place that on your page for you. And essentially what you could technically be doing is you could refresh your page and you would see each headline or whatever you're split testing, you would see it rotate a different headline each time. And by doing that, you can do tests very quickly, and you don't have to necessarily create a whole bunch of different pages. So Visual Website Optimizer is a great tool for that. And then you can also do some more complex testing. We usually use it for A/B testing, where you're testing like one headline versus the other headline, or maybe you're testing 3 different headlines. If you see kind of where it says multivariate testing, what that means is that we might be testing the headline, and then we might be testing the call to action, like on the opt-in page. And then we might be even testing an image. So if we're testing multiple things at the same time, that's called multivariate testing. And you have to get a lot more data before you realize which combination is going to work the best, because it has to go through all of the various combinations of each individual test to find out the winner. So A/B testing is the easiest. You have 3 things, you test 3 different headlines, you figure out which headline gets the best conversion rates, best opt-in rate. In this case is what our conversion was. So basically it also does heat maps. You can see heat maps and things like that. And the other software is Mouseflow. This is a software that when I was talking about the legal lead gen offer we were doing, you could literally see what people are doing, and I mean it's a great software. It basically made the difference on that campaign, on like us abandoning the campaign and saying we'll just move on to another project, versus like, okay, we know exactly what's happening now, so we need to make these changes, and the only way we were able to see that is by literally seeing that people were trying to fill out the form, they were getting stuck on some certain questions, and they would leave, or it was just people who are our competitors are filling out the form, and we could tell that they were fake because it was they were just copying and pasting the same information in there. So we wouldn't have known that otherwise. So and this Mouseflow, it's pretty cheap. It's like you can get 1,000 page views, like you can see 1,000 videos basically of what people do in your page for like $10 a month, or it's in euros the price, so I think it's like $10 or $15 a month, which is 1,000 is more than enough for you to get some stuff going and making some money, so you can pay back the cost of using these types of softwares. But I would highly recommend using this for any page that you do. You'll get a lot of good information as far as like where people read, where their eye moves, and usually where their mouse is moving is where their eye's at, typically. And you can optimize your pages based on that. So I've referred this software to people. There's some other softwares like this, but this is one that is the most economical and easiest to implement. It's literally one piece of coding that you place on your page. You can get a programmer, like I said, to do it for it'll take them 2 seconds. You can pay them $10. And it says, if you have more than one website, I think you can. If you have more than one website you want to use it on, you might have to pay a couple more dollars per month. They have options. Actually, let me just go to it right now. We can see in real time what it does, what the pricing is for that. So here's site, mouseflow.com, pricing and plans. All right, so if you have one website, €10 a month, I think that's like $15 a month. So 1,000 recorded sessions. 10,000 recorded sessions, 3 websites. And there's a couple other ones, that people use. Yost, you were saying InspectLet. This one of the ones we were using ClickTel, but it was like 5-10 times as expensive. And this does just as well. So there's a lot of them out there that you can use, but it's interesting. Like at the end of the day, it comes down to like being able to see what people are doing, especially if you're collecting opt-ins and you're testing different positions of your opt-in page, testing headlines. It's really cool to see people's reactions to certain things and how quickly they opt in or how quickly they leave the page. It definitely helped us out with that particular project. Somebody's asking, what is a good source of images for ads? I mean, you can go to Google Images if you just go to Google Images and if you can do a search, and you can refine your search for like if you're testing images, you can refine your search so that you're only getting images that are allowed to be freely shared without having to claim the original owner. Flickr, FLICKR, is another place where you can do searches for photos or images that are not copyright protected, and you can use those. I mean, we usually just do Google Images. And there's also like stock photo sites. If you just Google stock photo images, there's a whole bunch of sites. But for the most part, we just use Google Images and pick and find some there for free. You really, I mean, unless you're testing like a massive amount of images, I really wouldn't be paying for images because there's a lot of free ones available. But at the same time, I wouldn't recommend trying to use copyrighted images. I just wouldn't recommend doing that, especially if you're going to do a lot of volume, because you can run into issues like that. All right, I'm trying to make sure I get everybody's questions here.